Hi, guys. Welcome back to True Crime and Tarot. I was going to play a little bit of music and just wait for people to come in, but I'd rather get this started straight away. We're going to talk about statement analysis, behavioral analysis, and why what Candace Bly said last night is very important. It's not something to just say, oh, people are nitpicking or words. No, statement analysis is a thing. It is real. These experts in these fields are called in to testify for a reason. Candace and Don have both passed a polygraph. So what? They're not admissible in court for a reason, but statement analysis is. So we're going to start this show out with talking about statement analysis. And I found an article, and here's what it says. It says, people say exactly what they mean. Statement analysis is a very useful interviewing technique for detecting deception on the part of either the suspect or the victim. It's the process of examining a person's words to see exactly what they're saying. It's based on the principle that people do not lie. Most people want to tell the truth. Even liars will tell a partial truth. It's easier to tell a partial truth than to completely fabricate a statement. They just won't tell the whole truth. Statement analysis is based on several principles. The primary one is that most people want to tell the truth, even when they are lying. It's been theorized that the psychological ID of our personality, the subconscious, primitive part, tends to be truthful at all times. If we're being deceptive, a conflict occurs with our ID and it creates stress. VRJJ and Winkle, 1993, stated that the deception framework includes both emotional and cognitive components. When a person lies, this causes a conflict within ourselves and creates stress, emotional stress. That stress then triggers a sympathetic nervous system to react as part of the fight or flight syndrome. The systematic nervous system activates responses within our body that we can't control, such as pupil dilation, blood pressure, respiratory rates, and perspiration. The systematic response will trigger the cognitive part of the deceptive process. The person is then aware of their nervousness and will thereby attempt to limit and control any behavioral cues they perceive as being created by the stressor. Now, who do we know that does that? Don Wells. In his very first news interview, he was cued in right away that using past tense was being frowned upon. And he tried to correct that in there. He kept using past tense, but he acknowledged it. So he did exactly what they just said. The person is then aware and will thereby attempt to limit and control any behavioral cues they perceive as being created by the stressor. We've seen Don do this. We've seen this happen. So let's get into this. I said earlier, okay, I'm looking over at chat. Michelle Vokey. Cher said Don Wells is cousins with that police guy, Larson. No, I believe that has been discounted, Michelle. I do not think they're cousins. I think Don said that he had once heard that they could have potentially be family members, but there's no connection that I'm aware of. And so, Emma Hooper, can you ask your cards about Ian Murphy and Warren, please? I could. I'm not. Hi, Grandma Brooks. So nice to see you. I could. I'm not going to do that on this live stream because we're going to talk about what Candace said last night. I've seen some creators dismiss it. I've seen them say, oh, we knew everybody was going to pick her words apart. Well, of course we are. Of course we are. Because as I just read to you, people leak the truth. And what she said cannot be swept under the carpet. Quite frankly, to be real and honest with you guys, I'm sick of the let's put some blinders on. Let's go through this theory, this theory, this theory. It is at the very minimum extremely obvious to anyone that Candace knows what happened to her child. Okay, her and Don just straight away, straight off the bat, I'll see her in the resurrection. What? There's Yes, Grandma Brooks, same. My jaw was just wide open this morning. I could not believe what I heard. I just couldn't believe it. I would love to know Chris McDonough's thoughts on that statement. I would love to know Steve Johnson, an expert in statement analysis, a man that to this day still goes and testifies in court hearings. To dismiss people's words, you're making a big mistake. You're making a big mistake. Yes. There has been so much past tense with them, with these two. And compare that. Just compare that for a minute. I went back today. I don't know if you guys watched The Lab with Josh. He's a great guy. Love his show. He interviewed Michael Vaughn's mother. And this woman was, to me, it looked like she was having a panic attack the entire time. She's working. Her husband works. They still have 3 children at home that they're taking care of. And here's this woman pleading for her son. And you could just tell how distraught she acts. She actually, Josh admitted this. Josh said, she corrected me because I said Michael was, and she said is. And when I went back today and rewatched that live stream, I noticed that she actually corrected him twice and said is, not was, And that's very telling, because this child, Michael Vaughn, who has not gotten nearly the attention that he should, has been missing for 5, going on 6 months, I believe. She said it was over 200 days. And here's his parents or his mother, just distraught. You can see this woman is hanging on by a thread. She believes her child was abducted, but she still believes that he is coming home. And she stated that very firmly. He is coming home. I was told that she sleeps on her couch every night because she is waiting for him to come home. She is waiting for that knock on the door. This is in stark contrast with Candace's behavior. 8 months in, and we're hearing her say, I don't want to say this, but I have to put her aside and focus on my boys because they're still here and living, and they're in foster care. What a statement. I mean, holy cow. What a statement. So after 8 months, you're just giving up. I'm sorry. I think any person that, yes, Grandma Brooks, for sure. And you can absolutely tell that monkey, Michael Vaughn, was very loved and is loved. Let me talk about him in the present tense. His mother moved me. And if you guys have not seen that live stream with her, please go watch it. Please go watch that. Yes, she does. Yes, she does, Emma. I was really moved by her. My heart was breaking for her. And it's so, Grandma Books. She could have said, I need to get my home in order for when the boys in summer come home. Yeah, she could have said a lot of things, but she didn't. She said exactly what she meant. And this was the very first thing I read when I was reading this article about statement analysis. That's the very first thing that they say. People say exactly what they mean. Amber, it is absolutely painful to watch her. And you know what else I'm finding painful to watch? Is, how do I say this? I always ask people to keep it classy and tactful in my chat, and I need to do the same. But I see some creators that have explored every theory under the sun, and they wrote this off. They wrote what Candace said last night off as nothing. And it makes me wonder, why? Is it because you would have to acknowledge that at the very least Candace knows what happened to her child, and so the theories are going to stop and there's going to have to be more focus on something else? But I just don't see how anyone can listen to that and say, oh, she didn't really mean it like that, or people are just nitpicking at her words, or no, we heard exactly what she said. Hi, Jam. Nice to meet you. Welcome. We are having an open discussion. If you did not see what Candace Blythe said on Benny Keys's live stream last night, please go watch it. And I made a short clip video of it earlier, or you could watch that and just get right to the part of what we're talking about. If you have watched it, feel free to join in the discussion. Jam, Michael's mother made me cry. Let me go ahead and put this up on the screen. Michael's mother made me cry. I just felt her grief. I did too. It just came straight through the screen. And I actually believe that Josh said that. And it was true. Summers, I'm sorry that I sound this way. I have literally been sick since January 1st. I am not kidding you. I'm so nasally. I'm so stuffed up. And I just cannot hear out of my left ear. And so my words are coming out a little funny. But anyway, let me start that again. Michael's mother made me cry. I just felt her grief. Summer's mother never cries and seems to try and copy Michael's mother at times, as if she studies her to see how she's supposed to act. I fully agree with you. Fully. I think Don and Candace both do that. I think Don does it better, but they both do that. And Chris McDonough predicted this. He said that. He was like, we will watch them adapt. We will watch them listen to what others are saying and try to become what they think they should be. The problem is that Don and everything that he has said, and now Candace, their statements are huge. They mean everything. You are listening to the woman that was last with Summer. Summer was under her care. And this is what she's saying about her 8 months later. 8 short months later, you are saying, well, I got to set that aside because, my boys are still alive and still living. So I got to focus on them. It's just every time I say it, and I've probably said it 100 times today, but every time I say it, I just, my brain just goes straight through the roof. Yes, she really was. And, I was going to do like a little clip video and, put them side by side and just to show the different, the difference in reaction and the difference in behavior. But I really didn't feel like that was fair to Michael Vaughn's mother. I just don't think that, we should be constantly comparing and doing things like that. So, but it's hard not to, because you see a mother that's actually in grief and you're like, look, This is what that really looks like, not what Candace Bly is doing. But yeah, I don't want to put them in a video side by side and analyze that. I would actually like to speak to her myself. I would love to speak to her. I would love for people to watch it and to start talking about Michael Vaughn more. I believe this child was truly abducted, and I do not think that his parents know where he is. And their grief is just, they're grief stricken. They're absolutely grief stricken. Leslie, hi. Let's see. In my opinion, all the exposure the parents have gotten on YouTube has given them a chance to practice speaking to people, and they got to tell their tale over and over. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. But you see, the truth just comes out. You don't have to think about the truth. It's already stored. It's already there. It's just, it'll just come out of your mouth easily because it's true. There's nothing really to think about. That's what happened. You say it and that's it. But with these two, when you lie, you got to do some mental gymnastics. And no matter how much they try to analyze other people and emulate other people, they still just leak out the real deal. What's really in their hearts, what's really in their minds. Hi, Linda. How are you? Jam. Jam says Candace is constantly saying she's broken, or Don says she's broken, but you never see her fully broken or even a little broken. Agree. Yes. When? When do we see this? When we see this? When she's drunk. When she's drunk. Or like on the Dr. Phil show when she felt like she was being interrogated. Hey, listen, if my 5-year-old goes missing, please interrogate me. Ask me anything you want, anything you need, anything, any description, any picture, anything. I will give you every last thing that you possibly need. Please interrogate me. And then take all the information that I have to give you and please go use it to find my child. Yes, Grandma Brooks. She really likes to say a lot when she's drinking. And it just, yeah, exactly. Paranoid much? Yes. Go find the real culprit, Linda. I mean, it's just, their behavior from day one was not normal. It just wasn't. There's nothing normal about it. You have Don on the news. You have Candace high as a kite. I also believe in that video with Benny Keys last night that she was not sober. You could tell by the way she was talking. We've heard Candace drunk enough times, and we've also seen her sober with Chris and on the Dr. Phil show. So, it's pretty easy to tell with her too. It's when she gets very emotional. It's when she gets angry. It's when that stuff starts coming out within her. Slurring, yes, all of that. Exactly, Grandma Books. I mean, just the very first interview tells such a big tale. I mean, again, you have the mother high as a kite on TV. Just think about that. And then you have the father who is, apologizing because he has recognized that his speaking and his behavior using past tense is not socially acceptable and there's something wrong with that. So right on the news, he's admitting, oh, I'm sorry. I know I keep saying past tense. The paper are going to give me, crap about that. It's really sorry. Just really sorry. You're not sorry. This is called leakage. Even liars tell partial truths. Yeah, 7 to life. I'm so glad you're here. And she did. She really did. I'm telling you, we've heard Dawn, so much. And I have my feelings about Dawn. But when I hear Candace, the last known parental figure to be in Summer's presence, say something like that, how in the world are you not completely guilt stricken? At the very minimum, how are you not feeling crazy guilt? Because, you know, Candace could have left. I mean, think about the 911 call. Think about what the dispatcher said. The dispatcher telling the police, hey, mom said she went on a walk. Okay, I've been on that road. Where are you walking? That is not a road that you just go take a walk on. If she meant a walk around her property, which is certainly big enough, that still means that somebody had to come up to your house, inside of your house, steal your child while you're walking around your property. So how are you not feeling guilty? Because I think she could have left. She was not there. Summer came outside. One of the boys did say that Summer was outside. I think that was Josie, the oldest, that Don has brought into 2 different interviews. The child with his head down, you know. And then, if you listen to Candace in that first news interview, she goes, and then she was just gone. She makes this face like she couldn't believe it. She's gone. Well, where were you? You told the 911 dispatcher that you took a walk to where? Where were your kids? I mean, I just don't know how you don't have a tremendous amount of guilt, because I do not. And I always say this, I do not subscribe to the abductor theory. But if Summer did wander off, it's still Candace's fault. You should have been there. You should have been watching your 5-year-old. She's 5. I would never forgive myself. Never. And this woman is over here like, oh, I got to put her aside. Got to focus on my boys. They're still alive in here. Like, holy cow. Just holy cow. Oh, Linda, my imitation of Don. Yeah, I can't help myself. It's just too easy. It's low hanging fruit, and I sadly pick it sometimes. Grandma Brooks, the whole Dr. Phil thing as well. What the hell? Exactly. What the hell? It's just like the Chris McDonough being in her living room, and he sees the picture of her sister, and he asks about it, and she goes, I don't know. Lady, your sister's been missing for a number of years. You have an ex-homicide detective that works for the Cold Case Foundation inside of your living room right now. Why are you not snatching up that opportunity to tell him everything about that case and your daughter and try to find them both? I mean, what really upsets me, not for Summer. I'm so happy that Summer is getting the attention and the outpouring of love that she's gotten, because I don't believe she got that in life. I don't. But it does upset me that these people get so much attention with their ridiculous antics, their nonsense, and we have truly missing little children that have most likely been abducted, again, like Michael Vaughn, and their mothers are pleading, please help me, anything, I'll do anything. I'll come on your show. I'll do this. I'll do anything. I just need my child found. And that's not what these two are doing. And that's really why I believe there's so much focus on them, because we're all like, you guys are liars. You're lying. Oh, I didn't see what Jam said. Jam. Oh my goodness. Jam, my daughter died in a horrible ATV accident. I was not there. I felt such immense guilt. For a very long time, I wouldn't do anything good for myself. I was truly, Jam, I am so sorry to hear that. I am so, so sorry. And that is a very normal reaction, you know, it, sadly. I hope that you're in a better place. Um, but, to think about someone 8 months later just readily wanting to put their daughter aside, that's not normal. It's just not normal. Rochelle, yeah. Um, Neglect and abuse is what happened to Summer. Absolutely. Absolutely. I did a video called Addiction, Abuse, and Lies on the Wellses because that's exactly what this case is. Addiction, center of the case, because with the addiction comes along the neglect, the abuse. We've heard varying accounts of both of them being abusive towards their children, either neglectful, either partying, doing drugs, drinking alcohol, getting overly intoxicated, fighting, verbal abuse, police being called, you name it, these children were around it. Yeah, Grandma Brooks, oh my goodness, you wouldn't be able to get me out of bed. I really don't think I would leave my bed. I just wouldn't. I would be completely heartbroken. I like jams. I just couldn't imagine that. And I just fully feel, like what she's saying that, uh, seven to life. Candace, don't worry about the boys. All three are in a good home and very happy. They don't want to go back to that hill. Listen, I wouldn't either. Would you? Absolutely not. I mean, the things that these kids, and this is just what we know about. For every rat you see, there's 10 you don't. So just try to imagine the life that these kids lived. It's just dad's in jail. Dad's in jail for violating probation because he just had to go at 2 a.m. to go get cigarettes when he's been drinking on a live stream on YouTube. And he gets arrested, and now he's in jail for 6 months to a year. I mean, it's just, and their kids aren't even with them. Does anyone in their right mind believe that these people are trying to do anything to get their children back? They're not. Leslie says, I don't think I could ever stop looking or even go in my house. I died looking. Same. I would too. I don't think I'd be able to sleep. I think I would just be out wandering the roads, that just anything. I think my mind would be going crazy with this. And again, my hat is off to little monkey Michael Vaughn's mother just for holding it together. Jam, I am in a better place. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your kind words. I'm really glad to hear you are, Jam. I know that had to be very hurtful for you. I wanted to hang on just a second. Yes. So Michael Vaughn's mom's name is Brandy. And like I was saying, my hat is just off to that woman because just the fact that she's holding herself together. And you could just see, like I said, you could just see the anxiety. She was trying to focus and trying to act normally, but you could just tell behind that was so much pain, so much grief, so much anxiety. This is literally the exact opposite of what we have seen from Don and Candace. The exact opposite. Jam. I told my husband long ago in this situation, we are just seeing little minutes of their life. Imagine what those poor children had to deal with on a daily basis. Exactly. Exactly. We've gotten little glimpses. We've gotten little stories from various players in this case. But you know, these children, there was already an open CPS case. Again, I like to remind people that the boys were not taken away because Summer went missing. They were taken away for other reasons because they were not being taken care of. Just like Rochelle said earlier, abuse and neglect. Linda, I do have a PayPal. I don't really use it. um, it's not, you don't have to do that. I mean, I really appreciate that you're asking, but I don't even know if you're asking me. Maybe you're asking Jam. I don't know who you're asking. But if you're, bye, Grandma Brooks. Thank you for coming in. Um, yeah, but I do Cash App. That's usually, and we just use that in between our family, you know, Cash App money to my kids when they need it and things like that. Um, Linda, hi, New Orleans lady, welcome. Linda says, I hate the story that the boys were swimming at a party. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do have a Cash App. Um, but I want to read your comment. Sorry. So let's read that. I hate the story that the boys were swimming at a party and Candace made them lay down on that hot. Same, me too. And again, I'll ask again because I was looking for information on Leslie. We talked about this in the last live stream, but I need to know more about Leslie. Why do people not believe her? Does anyone know this? Because I found that story very believable. I mean, she seemed very distressed. And I don't remember what Chris McDonough's exact words were, but I think he said something to the effect that that story really had an impact on her. And that was really obvious. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No shirts on. And like they said, hot tar with water on your body, the second you lay down, you're like cooking. You're like cooking their skin. I mean, that is abuse. That is physical abuse. Amber Nix, me too. Where did she go? Where did her and Candace have a falling out? Supposedly, Amber, it is over Jose. And where did she go? Great question. I don't know. I highly suspect that Candace went to the hospital that day. They went to the pharmacy. That's been confirmed. And grandma, we don't know what kind of medication she got, but if she got some sort of pain pills, who's to say that Candace wasn't selling them to someone, exchanging them for drugs somewhere? But who's to say that she just wasn't on the property at all? And Summer, being the outdoors kid that they have said that she is, we've seen that, didn't go outside. And something tragic happened or something happened. We don't know. But what I do know, what I really, really think, is that Candace knows. Candace knows what happened to this child. Yep. That's supposedly why they had a falling out. Because Candace started to, I think Allie said, put the moves on Jose, and Allie already had a thing going on with Jose, and that was their falling out over a man. And Candace is in a relationship. So, there you have it. This is why I don't think for 2 seconds that she's going to be alone up on that hill. I just don't. I think she is absolutely going to be looking for a man, a new source of money. Don's gone. No more money there. That well has dried up. Okay. Or that, Linda. Or that. I thought about that too. Was she sleeping? Did grandma get some pain pills and was she knocked out? Did she wake? Because there's a time gap. We all know that there is a time gap that is unaccounted for. Was she just passed out? Did Summer go outside? Did something happen there? Why does Andrew Hiltz defend Jose? You know what, Linda? Like I said, Andrew Hiltz, for if anybody doesn't know who he is, that is Hunter's father. He is now on YouTube. He has his own channel. He is also monetized. Do not ask me why. And don't ask me why he defends Jose because I have no idea. I have no idea. That man is like an enigma to me. I mean, he is somebody that has no business on YouTube talking about the things he has said about his son, saying the things he has said to his daughter, monetizing himself over Summer Wells' case. No business doing this. Yet, here he is. Here he is. Yes, that well has dried up. The Don Wells well is now dry. So Candace is flying high. Miss Candace Bly. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. But yeah, and I think she's gonna fly right into another man's arms or try to. I don't know if she's gonna be successful because you're gonna have to find a very special person for Candace. But listen to what she said to Betty. She told him, I haven't talked to Don in 5 days. She didn't sound very sad to me about that. Did she sound sad to you guys? And actually, she had contempt in her voice when she first said, he asked, did you talk to Don? Have you talked to Don? And she goes, yeah, I talked to him twice, since he's been in jail. Listen to the way she says the word jail. There's contempt in her voice. She's angry that he's there. And then she goes on to say, I haven't talked to him in 5 days. Amber Nix, I agree about Andrew. Every person in this case lies and is so shifty. Can't believe anyone. Yeah, I've said that. I mean, just every one of them. It's like I think my last live, I was like, please just find me a normal person in this case, just one. Linda, your last card showed Candace looking for love in all the wrong places. Yes, they did. Well, it showed her looking for love, period. It showed just like a complete disregard for anything that's going on, like with Candace, Summer, like she just doesn't care about that. And they showed that she's just looking for a relationship, like she's looking for love. I was just so shocked by that. Like I said in that video, to get a read like that when I'm asking like what her thoughts are for a woman her age and everything that's surrounding her right now, so weird. Just so weird. I have never gotten a read like that. But it was strange because there are definitely parallels between her energy and Candace's. And somebody mentioned, that's like generational stuff, and it is. It really is. It's generational stuff that's happening. We're watching this play out, and it's painful to watch. No, she really doesn't. And a lot of people have said, and I'm going to co-sign it, that everything we know happened in the beginning of this case, including Candace leaving right after her granddaughter goes missing. What in the world? What are you doing? Where are you going? It's just like unreal. Everything that these players have done in this case is mind-blowing. Like, I have not witnessed, now that I'm just sitting here reflecting, I can't think of any normal moments like where I was like, oh wow, they really care, or they're really sad, or I feel really bad for them. It's really terrible. I don't remember a single moment of that. This entire case, I've been scratching my head and asking WTF. WTF. Yeah, maybe Benny. I maybe, but I don't think that Benny is going to date Candace. So, um, I Candace is going to be on the prowl for a man, but I don't think that she has a shot with Benny, and I think she probably knows that. So, Rochelle, Grandis abandoned her own kids. Yes, she did. Absolutely, she did. Generational trauma. Hopefully, Summer broke the cycle. As sad as that is, um, because I believe that Summer is no longer with us. So I hope so too. I hope so too. But then again, Candace does have another daughter. And I don't know if we talked about this. It has come out. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but that Candace had a second daughter before Summer, before Dawn. This child was not her first um, husband, Andrew. It was not his child. It was not Don's child. Don't know who the father was. She did speak about this on a live stream. I listened to it myself. And she gave that daughter up for adoption right in the hospital. Now, I'm not going to knock her for that. I commend her, honestly, because that child is probably much better off. But there's a pattern here. There is a pattern. Candace doesn't do well with daughters. She just doesn't. She doesn't. Even female dogs. I was listening to her on Alicia Clare's live stream, and I cannot clip this. Alicia threatened to strike any creator that clipped her channel, period. And I don't think that live stream is still up. I looked for it. I don't believe it's still up. But Candace says in it, and I took mental note. She said that one of the dogs had puppies, and they were like, oh, they were fawning over it. And then she goes, I'm going to sell the females and keep the males. And in my mind, it was just a light bulb. Dude, here we go again. What is going on with this woman that you heavily favor males and you do not value females at all? And I feel like that says a lot about Candace's own self-reflection, to be honest. Jam, sure. I mean, he absolutely could be doing that. I don't speak to Benny. I don't talk to Benny, so I don't know what's going through his mind, but it has crossed my mind that he could potentially, be getting close, soaking up whatever she has to say, and eventually come out with some stuff that is shocking. Because that live stream was very shocking. He didn't seem to be very happy with how people were reacting to it. But I'm sorry. What are we supposed to do? Like I said in my video earlier this morning, that sounded like a complete admission to me, an admission of guilty knowledge at the very least. Ziggy took a female of Yucky's litter. Yes, I heard that. I did hear that. 7 to life. I love your channel. You're awesome. Thank you. That makes me feel good. It's really not easy. I'll get off subject just for a second, but it's really not easy. Like you really think like, oh, I'm gonna get on YouTube and just like turn my camera on and everything's gonna be fine. No, it definitely does not work like that. It's not easy to just sit here and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Um, you have to think. You have to. It's like kind of it's work, in a way. Um, but this true crime and it's just something I'm very passionate about. Children is something that I've always been very protective about. I went to school and took criminal justice. I took behavioral science. I really, really wanted to work with teenagers. I wanted to be like a parole officer for teenagers because I could talk to them and maybe have an impact in their life. I had children and I stayed home with them. So my dreams were a little dashed with that. But my passion for true crime has never waned. And so, this is a way that I could stay home, be a mother to my children, and also do something that I'm passionate about and that I love. So I have the gift of gab, Linda. Well, thank you. I think that's a compliment. Rochelle says, I made my husband listen to what Candace said. I was shocked. I think we all were. I actually did the same thing. I really did. I said, babe, come here. I said, I just want you to listen to this. And so he listened. And at first he was like, I can't really make out what she's saying. So I was like, okay. I kind of stuck my phone straight up to his ear. I was like, listen closely. She kind of slurs a little bit. And, so he listened and he was like, he just looked at me and goes, what the hell? That was his reaction. Like, what? Because he does know about the Summer Wells case, but it's kind of like a shocking moment. And I have to say again, I seen a couple creators just really dismiss this, and it kind of like surprised me. I was like, wow, you guys, I watch you guys all the time, and you come up with great theories, and you discuss them, and you're just going to dismiss this like that was nothing. Why? you know, Holy cow. I mean, let's look at the experts. Steve Johnson, that Chris McDonough has on. What did you miss, Linda? I did a shorter video earlier this morning, like really early this morning. Candace was on Benny Keys' channel last night on his live stream. And she said to him that she needed to put Summer aside and focus on her boys because they were still here and living and were in foster care. That's what she said. If you want to watch that, you can go onto my channel, and it's the video, the first video. It's right in the description of what she said. And it was just, yeah, definitely watch that. It's just shocking. I don't know what other word to use. Yeah. Yep. I mean, it was just like this admission, like she's, the boys are here and living, AKA Summer's not. So I have to set her aside and I have to focus on the boys. I don't want to do that, but I have to do that. And then I think after she said it, maybe there was something in her mind that was like, oh, maybe I should have said that. So she goes, I don't want to do that. I can't do that, Benny. I can't do that. Well, you just said that. So it was, yes, that is the word that she used. That her boys were still here and living. And she finished it with, and in foster care. But yes, yes, she actually used that word. And I'm telling you, when I was watching it, I had to keep going back and re-listening to it. And every time I was just like, holy cow, holy cow, holy cow. She really said that. She really just said that. I think like I said before, I really do think this is the beginning of the end for these people. Don is not here to keep her off of live streams. It's kind of keep her in line. He's not too much better. He says ridiculous things as well. But he has seemed to be able to keep her on track. I'll just say it like that. When you watch that video, I actually felt a little sorry for Benny, because he doesn't look like, or he looks like he doesn't know what to say. And he actually didn't say anything to that. And he sat there for a second, and then he asked her if she had talked to Don. It was like a whole change of topic. 7 to life. That means Candace has no hope for Summer. Yeah, there is no. Yes, exactly. She doesn't. She just doesn't. Like, I'm gonna set her aside. What does that even mean? What does that mean? That you're gonna set her aside? That you're just not gonna think about her? That you're just gonna like ignore the fact that your daughter is missing? Like, what does that mean? Because your boys are safe now that they're not with you. They're safe. But Summer is missing. She should be your top priority. Actually, sobriety really should be, if we're going to be really honest here. But your daughter's the one in danger, not your sons. I'm just going to be real. I'm going to be real. If people think, or she thinks, that she has any chance in hell of getting those boys back, I hope she thinks again, because I don't think so. I'm sorry. She was, in my opinion, she sounded intoxicated last night on that live stream. So what does my listen Linda say? She says, right, because he has asked people to help her out and donate money, gift cards, whatever to her. So her saying that to him, I don't know. Yeah. Her Cash App was actually posted in that live chat last night. I screenshot it just because. But yeah, it was posted in the chat, and Benny asked for it to be posted. So, and I'm sure that people have probably been Cash Apping her. Joe. Welcome, Joe. Yes, Dixie. I don't think she's getting them back at all. I think it's a delusional thought, to be honest. Hi, Joe. So Joe says, I have something to say. What mother tells someone, I am forgetting about Summer because the boys are alive? She's admitting Summer's dead. It made me cry. Absolutely, Joe. This is why I'm doing this live stream, because I've thought about this on and off all day long. And that's exactly what she was doing. That's exactly what she was saying. It's just, holy crap, So Joe also says the boys need a loving, caring home. Yes, they do. We don't know for sure, but from what we understand, the boys are in a happy home and don't want to go back. So yeah, Dixie, feeding her habit. Exactly. Thank you for saying that. I have said this. This will be my third time saying this. If you are going to donate your money to Candace Wells, Bly. Please understand this is a woman that has severe substance abuse issues. She has been offered help twice by Dr. Phil, by no thanks investigations. She turned it down. She turned it down. And last night, I am sorry, she was intoxicated on that live. You can hear it in her voice. Go listen to it. And that's all they're doing. They're feeding her addiction. This is called enabling. And it frightens me because it's on such a large scale. Benny has every right to do whatever he wants. He can run his channel however he wants. But when you're giving people with substance abuse issues a platform and a way for people to directly give them money, that's a scary thing. What happens if Candace overdoses? What happens? You know, I don't know how to help Candace. I don't. I think the only thing that is going to help Candace is telling the truth. Because her alcoholism, her drug addiction, it's a symptom of the real problems. And Candace has a lot of them. And this is another huge one. And even though she is non-emotional, not dealing with it, saying that, she's going to set some aside, there's got to be somewhere in that head of hers that knows and that feels something. Or at least I would like to believe that. As a mother, I would like to believe that. Joe, yeah. And the craziest thing was, I don't know when you came in, but I was talking about Candace actually had another daughter that was not her first husband's child. Her first husband's name was Andrew. It was not his child, and it was before she met Don. And she gave that daughter up for adoption straight out of the hospital. So if we count how many children Candace actually has or gave birth to, it's 7. 7 children. And not one of them is in her care. Not one. What do you need here? What do you need to be shown here? Because I feel like people that are blindly ignoring these facts are lying to themselves. You have to recognize this. Okay? Joe? Yes, she does. Linda, the substance problems with her are so major. She absolutely uses alcohol to cope. There's no doubt in my mind about that. We've seen that. And I've always said that addiction is at the center of this case. I mean, they both are heavy users. And I have people that are very close to me that have had substance abuse problems. I've seen the behavior. I've seen how neglectful they are of their children or the positions that they've put their children in, which are dangerous positions that they should have never put them in. So, but her using, again, is just covering up everything that's inside of her. Her mother leaving her at a young age. And I'm not making excuses for Candace. Please do not come for me. These are just facts. Her mother left her and her sisters when they were younger to go be with another woman, that she left their father and left them in their father's care. And, it wasn't like she was like seeing them every other weekend. She didn't see them for years. Years. There's a lot of issues with Candace. Tons. Joe, Candace doesn't care if she sounded guilty. Absolutely, she did. Absolutely. Let's see. Ms. Wizards. Hi, welcome. Ms. Wizards says, I always thought during the first interview with Don and Candace, the look on Candace's face was a look of disbelief when he said something like Summer is probably dead. Yeah, listen, that look spoke 1,000 words, didn't it? I have watched that countless times. Just countless times I have watched that because it really, for her, it looked like she wanted to say, like, what the heck are you saying? Shut up, you know? Yeah. Yeah, Ms. Wizard. It was a WTF face for sure. Jam says that 2 minute timeline, 2 minutes. It's not, yeah, it's absolutely not believable. And, I feel like that was just her trying to boost up her motherly image. Like, oh, I only left my child for 2 minutes. This is so unrealistic. It takes me longer than 2 minutes to walk away from my 5-year-old and go pee, to be honest. So be real. You didn't walk your child up to the house just for 2 minutes later to turn around and go check on her. Come on. But that's always been ridiculous. And it's with most things that they've said. I would love for someone to find something that they have said that sounds like what a normal parent would say with a missing child. Because for months, we've been doing this. For months. We have been listening to them on live streams say the most ridiculous things and then talking about how ridiculous it is. Never do I hear people say, oh, that really broke my heart for them or, whatever. I think the most that people felt some sort of empathy towards them was when the Heels on the Ground team was putting a lot of pressure on them and Don lost his job. People started to show some sympathy for that. And I didn't agree with that, but that's just my opinion. I didn't agree with the losing of the job. I just don't believe that you should go after anyone in real life, and that's just how I feel. So, Linda, Linda asks, "Do you think she was dead when she was laying on the milk?" I don't know. I honestly don't know. Um, I know you've heard what I've said about the watering hole, how I felt when I went there. There was a gut feel. There was just this overwhelming feeling that something bad had happened there, completely unexpected. Um, it's possible. It's possible. To me, she really didn't look right in that picture at all. It's very odd that you say that your child was cold. You put her in a tracksuit in the middle of the summer in Tennessee. It is hot down there. Okay, very hot. You put her in a tracksuit and then she's laying up against milk. I mean, just none of that makes sense. Like, Candace, were you that high? Or did something happen to this child at the watering hole? Rochelle says, I'm shocked that the Wells care what YouTubers say. I would be worried for Summer. Yes, exactly. Exactly. You know what? I wouldn't care. Did we see Gabby Petito's parents doing this? Not only were they a very united front and, concerned parents, they still were even trying to help others, thanking law enforcement, cooperating with them. We have seen none of that with the Wellses. None. But you're right. If it were me, and for some reason, people thought that I did this and I didn't, I wouldn't give a crap what people said. I really wouldn't. I would say, fine, say what you want about me, but please help me find my loved one. Just please help me. Just help me. But no, this is not how the Wells operate. We know this. Um, I think that, you know, I think we're going to see more things happen here, guys. We're running a little over an hour. So I'm probably going to end this live stream here shortly. But I do think that we are going to see some stuff start happening here. It already is. It already is. So I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for more leakage from Candace and some more stuff to start happening. Things are going to get really interesting when other players enter the mix with Candace. Things are going to get interesting. And I say that in the worst way because I don't think it's going to be anything good. But okay. So, Linda, you asked, and I will do it. This is my Cash App. Whatever you send, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm so glad that you joined my live streams. That's really enough. Just to have people join, watch, like, comment, that helps my channel the most. But I really do appreciate that you thought of me that way. So, Linda, are you aware that your sound goes in and out? No, I'm not. No, I wasn't. Is it doing it right now? Thank you for saying that because I actually turned my mic on to a different setting. So I'm wondering if it has to do with that. Thank you for pointing that out. A 7 to life, yes, thank you. Thank you for always being here too. You're one of my constants. And thank you for being here. You always have good commentary. Linda, you have a special little place in my heart. So thank you guys. Dixie, welcome. I hope to see you back again. But yes, everyone have a great night. Hug your kids a little tighter. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you guys on the next one. Oh, okay. That's okay, Linda. That's fine. It doesn't cost anything to sign up, but it's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. I just want to see you on the next video. So, okay, guys. Good night.